Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of building the R2-D2 from Fanhome. So now in this video we are going to be looking at stages 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we got the next 4 stages now to build, and it looks like we're going to be working a little bit more on the leg and some electronics too. Now, unlike the Enterprise model that I'm doing a build series on, these R2-D2 builds are different because each issue comes with its own magazine. On the Enterprise, you get one magazine for every 4 issues. So this is the magazine we get for issue 3. And I haven't read through all of these yet, but I do find that there's some pretty cool information on these. And I do love, of course, the behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on here. And, of course, our beloved R2-D2. I love seeing all kinds of cool stuff about him behind the scenes. And then they start talking about like the printed circuits, because that's what you're going to be working with for this issue. And it's kind of cool. And they kind of talk about it. And then it shows the parts that you're going to get. And then, of course, we have the instructions. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with issue 3. Okay, so stage 3 really doesn't have that much going on here. This is the lens that's going to go into this piece, which we had from parts issues 1 and 2. And actually, this is going to go right in here like this. There is a plastic cover on here, but I think I'm going to leave it on for now because I don't think this is going to stay in here right at this time. So we'll just put that like that. It's just to kind of show you what it's going to look like. And then we have this piece. This is the little side part. Now this goes on the back here. You'll see this little ridge right here. So this little tab right here is going to fit in there. So actually here, before I put that lens in, let's go and put this in right here. Like that. It just press fits in there. So see, you got that kind of nice section going on here. You can press it in all the way. So you're not screwing anything in for this. That's how that looks, and then this is what it looks like with the lens in it. There's going to be a camera behind there, which is pretty cool. All right, and then we also have this leg piece. So let me show you how that goes on. Okay, so this is the leg that we had from stages 1 and 2. So now we're going to take this new blue leg piece here, and we're going to put it on here. We just match up these pegs right here into the holes. This is all plastic, by the way. And make sure you don't bump this or mess it up. So that just fits in there pretty simple. Just like that. Okay. I think we're going to be screwing that in here in a little bit. You can see where those go in back there. But yeah, that looks really nice. It looks really, really good, actually. All right, very cool. The next step is the electronics, or at least some of it. These are the next parts now. This piece is from issues 1 and 2. We already built this part earlier. And then this is going to be the electronic circuit board that it plugs into. You can see it's got a couple of buttons on here. So now we got to plug this piece here into the one marked out. And you can see the shape of this right here. It's got a little bump or a little notch right there. So you got to make sure that you match up the notch on here. So that's got to match up with that. So let's go and put that in like this. Okay, and they said just push it in until it clicks. So let's see if we can do that. Well, I didn't hear a click, but I'm assuming it's in. All right, very good. So that's it for stage 3. I mean, like I said, there wasn't a lot to this. All right, so let's go to stage 4. Alrighty, so issue 4 comes with a battery box. So we'll be doing some electronics here. And this is a metal piece. This is the little hub that goes in R2's leg. And then this is the lower section of his leg right here. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's get on with the next step. This is the magazine for issue number 4. And I'll just kind of quickly skim through this. They do have some pictures in here that I've never seen before. I've never seen that one. And some more information we got going on here. Some more stuff about 3PO. And quite a bit of stuff about 3PO, actually. Image sensors. Oh yeah, we're going to be actually working on R2-D2's little eye right here. So that's pretty nifty. And talks about some of this stuff on here. And there's the instructions for this section. Okay, so let's get started with issue 4. Looking at the back of the leg now, we're going to be using this piece. So this is that little hub thing. So these little notches, or whatever you call these things, they're called tangs, I think. See how they have the little L shape to them? So this is going to go through, let's see, this way. Nope, this way. Sorry about that. And we got to match them up with these little notches here on both sides of the leg. So we put them in like this, and then you turn it, and it locks them in place just like that. So that keeps those right in there. All right, and then we flip this over, and down here on the bottom of the leg, that's where this piece here comes in. This is the bottom part of the leg here. So we have these two posts that are sticking up, and we just put them through these little holes right here, like that. All right, and then all of this is going to be screwed in eventually. So right now everything's just kind of resting on here. But you can see how that looks so far. We're already getting a good portion of his leg already made, so that's pretty cool. Next, we're going to be working on the battery box now, so we have to take this screw out of here. Get this off, like this. All right, and then we just press down and slide it open like this. Inside here, we are going to be putting 3 AA batteries. So make sure you get the polarity correct. I use these batteries because they don't leak, or at least they're not supposed to. So that's always a good thing. All right, so we put all these in here, and then we just replace the lid back on. There's little notches back here that you'll see how that kind of fits in there. So you make sure those are aligned. Press down and click it, and then we just replace the screw on here at the top. Okay, so now we are going to test these lights. These are going to be what makes R2-D2's eye light up. So we plug this wire. Now it's got these little things right here. See, they kind of like, they're little clicky things, for the lack of a better term. And they're going to go inside this thing right here. So we're going to put these in like this. Okay, and then they're going to click in place. See if I can get them in there. There we go. All right, so there we are. The little barbs click into those. All right, so now we're ready to test the lighting. Okay, so on the box here, there is an on-off switch, which is nice. That saves on the battery. So we'll flick this to the on position. There's 2 different buttons here. So let's see, take a look at these. So one here, S1, lights up blue, and then S2 lights up red. So those look very good. It's going to be what makes R2-D2's eye light up. Very cool. All right, so now we are on to the next stage, because that's it for that one. Looking at the parts for issue 5 now, we have a part of R2-D2's head frame. This is actually plastic. Okay, and this is a bearing, a little ball bearing inside there. And this is going to be the little thing that kind of holds it in place. This is a nice heavy metal piece here. Well, not heavy, but yeah, it's a nice metal part for the top of R2's head. And we have a ton of different screws. We have short black screws and long black screws, and we have short silver screws and long black screws. I mean, silver screws. So yeah, lots of hardware here, and then there's also some nuts, so that'll be pretty good. All right, so let's get started on that. And here is the magazine for issue 5. And some more stuff here. Looks like they cover not only the original movies. Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at the where they're working on R2 right there. So they don't talk about just the original movies. They talk about the new ones. There's D.O. I wish D.O. would have had more stuff to do in that last movie, because he's a really cool robot, and I kind of wish they would have given him more to do. I'm sure he probably did, but they probably ended up on the cutting room floor, unfortunately. And then there's some more stuff going on here. More behind the scenes. And then, of course, we got the instructions where we're going to start working on a little bit of his head, which is pretty neat. All right, so let's get going on issue 5. Okay, so now we're going to take this metal piece here and we're going to use the back side here where we got this little recess in here. And now we're going to take the bearing. It's going to fit right in here. Make sure it's flat. All right, and then we got this piece here, which they call the retainer. And just line up these holes here. All right, and then we're going to use 2 of the small silver screws here to put that in place. So let me get those screwed on. All right, so now that is firmly in place. So now we're going to turn this over, and we're now going to attach this piece. Now, if you'll notice, there is a little arrow right here, and you have to match that up with an arrow on here. Oh, there it is. Boy, it's not very visible, is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so now we're going to match these up like this. All right, and on the back here, we've got just the holes to align. So we're going to put them like that. And they do fit in here. You can feel it fit right in there. All right, and then we're going to take 2 of these little nuts. Now we're going to do these one at a time. So the nut goes in there. And then we're going to hang on to this. Flip this over. I'm going to use one of these longer screws. The longer silver screws, I should say. It's going to go in here. And then we're going to just screw it in there. You got to hang on to the nut on the other side so the screw will go in. Okay. All right, very good. And then we do the same exact thing for the other side. So let me put this one in like that. And then use another screw here. Okay. All right, and I don't know how tight you want to put these. Probably not overly tight, but snug. It is metal, so, well, except for this part. All right, so that's in there good and solid. And that is it for this stage. So now we are on to stage 6. Okay, so these are the parts that come with issue 6. So we have some wiring going on here. This is the LCD screen, which is very nice. That's going to have the logic lights on the back of R2-D2's head. Very nice. And then these are the housings that are going to go around it. And some kind of a bracket here. All right, so let's get started. And here is the magazine for issue 6. And let's see what we got going on here. Oh, that's pretty neat. They only got a portion of the Millennium Falcon built right there. Some more stuff here. There's a lot to read in these magazines. I'm pretty shocked. Oh, there's the Gonk droids. I think everybody loves the power droids, the Gonk droids. Some other robots here. It'd be cool if they made a Gonk droid remote-controlled robot. I would love that. There's some more stuff talking about LCD screens, which we are going to be using for R2's little readout right there. That's going to be really neat, so we're going to be building that. I think we get to test it out too. All right, so let's get started on that. Okay, so next we're going to be working on this part. So on here, you'll notice that we have a longer notch right here versus this one. So you just kind of look at the back of this. See how that one's got a longer one versus that one? So you just match these up. Now this little notch has got to go underneath like this, while these ones remain on top. And then over here, you got this going on, and you just snap it in place like that. Okay, very good. And then next, we are going to take the LCD screen right here. Now it's got a protective cover on it, which I didn't notice, but it's got a plastic piece. We got to peel that off. There we go. And now we're going to match up on here. There's some holes on the back, or some notches, I should say, or these little posts right here. And then here, and then here. So we just got to match up the holes on this as well. So let's flip this over. I think it's going to go this way. All right, so that way the notch goes right in here. That one matches up there, and that one matches up there. All right, very nice. Okay, and now we are going to take this bracket and make sure this part faces towards you. And then we take this part that we just did, and we're going to flip this over. So this little plug-in has got to go in this little section right here. So just flip this over Place this in here. Okay, so everything is all perfectly tight together. All right, and then we're going to use the 4 longer black screws to put all of this together. Okay, so now we're going to take this whole assembly and we are going to plug in, this is the wire that came with it, so make sure you get the right one. There's a wide one and a thin one. So you take that smaller one right there, match up the holes with the pins in there. You don't want to bend those pins. So make sure you got it the right way, right, like this. Okay, just push that in. There we go. All right, and then we're going to plug it back into the battery compartment here, and we'll test out the lights. Okay, so we got this all plugged in now. Make sure you turn the battery pack on. Here is the light display. We press S2 on here to make this work, and there we go. See if I can focus in on that. Yeah, look at that. That looks fantastic. I love it. That's going to look really good on the back of R2's head. Yep. All right. Well, that was it for all of these parts. We got more stuff done on the legs here, even though none of it's really screwed in place. And we got the LCD screen all set up. So very good. All right. So that's it for stages, what is it, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So until I get the next parts, this is it. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you did, please hit the like button and also subscribe. And I will be doing this series until I get this little guy finished. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks again. And have a good one.